Time now to turn to some business news. Yuka Royer joins us for that. Yuka, global shares bouncing back ahead of this much-awaited congressional testimony by the head of the US Federal Reserve.
The Fed's chairman, Jerome Powell, is due to speak at a congressional oversight hearing later on this Tuesday. This comes as a recent jump in inflation caused jitters on the stock market and attention focused on when and how the US central bank would begin to ease its massive stimulus measures to support the economy. Catherine Viet reports.
Cautious optimism from the U.S. Federal Reserve. In prepared remarks to Congress, Chairman Jerome Powell says the economy is growing at a healthy clip.
Indicators of economic activity and employment have continued to strengthen, and real GDP this year appears to be on track to post its fastest rate of increase in decades. Much of this rapid growth reflects the continued bounce back in activity from depressed levels.
Powell, however, noting that the pace of the recovery in the labor market has been uneven, and the pandemic still poses risks to the economy, especially as vaccination rates slow. While businesses have been on a hiring spree since restrictions have been eased, many workers say health concerns, lack of childcare, and low compensation have kept them out of the job market. There are now more than 9 million open positions, a record high. Powell's other main concern, the growing inflation rate. He blamed the rise on several factors, including higher gas prices, rapid increases in consumer spending, and supply bottlenecks. Still, Powell said he expects these effects to be temporary and that inflation will drop back to the Federal Reserve's regular target rate of around 2%. So far, the Fed has been keeping its short-term lending rate near zero, while continuing to buy $120 million worth of bonds every month as part of continuing efforts to support the economy.
Well, let's take a quick look at the markets as investors keep a close eye on Powell's testimony later today. European markets opened on a mixed note, as you can see, with London mildly trading up, Paris on the flat line and Germany in a negative territory. Asian markets mostly tracked earlier gains in the US, with the Nikkei in Tokyo finishing the day up 3%. Hong Kong, though, dropping 0.25% in negative territory.
Meanwhile, authorities in China, UK, grappling with those surging coronavirus cases in the country's manufacturing hub in the south.
That's right. Well, it has to be said that the uptick is very, very small compared to the rest of the world. But officials are worried that new infections are dominated by the more contagious Delta variant in the south of China. Factories are open, though, but strict quarantine measures in the past month have caused a huge traffic jam at the port of Shenzhen, one of China's busiest maritime hubs. Port officials say normal operations will resume by the end of the month. But the head of one European shipping firm says the impact would be bigger than the Suez Canal incident.
Gosh. Meanwhile, in the United Kingdom, they're starting negotiations to join a massive multinational trade deal, seen as a crucial step since Brexit.
That's right. That's the TPP talks for Britain to join the Trans-Pacific Partnership starts this Tuesday. The deal could give British businesses access to some of the biggest economies in the world. The TPP already counts 11 members, including Japan, Australia and Canada, and the trade area covers about 500 million people. The UK applied to join the bloc in January, and other members gave the green light to start negotiating in early June to start discussions. Britain's Trade Minister Liz Truss calls a potential deal a glittering post-Brexit prize to seize.
OK. And finally, from you, Yuka, the airline industry hoping for a big comeback over the summer as people start to resume travelling. One carrier in Japan really trying to attract customers.
Well, Pokemon fans rejoice. The new flying Pikachu Jet invites passengers to discover hidden monsters all over the plane. The project is meant to remind people of the joy of flying and travelling after more than a year of pandemic doldrums. Japan's Skymark Airlines says it also wants to contribute to boosting tourism in areas that have been particularly hit hard by the pandemic. And the first passenger jet for that reason will mainly connect Tokyo with the southern islands of Okinawa. But the island airline plans to introduce an entire fleet of Pikachu jets in coming months and will use them for international flights as well. Let's take a listen to the company's CEO.
We are still in the pandemic, but when we come out of it, once again, we can take to the skies without worries.
I hope this adds to the fun of traveling for many people.
So, I mean, you know, if you're a kid and if you want to go for the summer to Okinawa or elsewhere.
More entertainment, in-flight
More entertainment
entertainment on a
in-flight.
whole new form. Yukari, thanks a lot for that business news.